In order to form the C Corporation, you'll need to get the document from the state website, which actually forms the corporation, and the document is either called a Certificate of Incorporation or Articles of Incorporation, depending on the state. It's important to remember that each state has different filing requirements, different names of documents, and different filing fees for these documents. So just go to the state website and familiarize yourself with those different documents, filing requirements, and filing fees. Once you file the articles or the certificate of incorporation, the corporation is established. It's as easy as that. Now, of course, there are other documents that you'll need to make sure that you complete to properly govern and manage the corporation. But filing the articles will establish the corporation. And usually it doesn't take more than a few days or a few weeks to actually have those articles filed. If you're filing your articles or certificate of incorporation in a state that's different in which the business is located, you'll need to make sure that you go to the particular state in which the business is located to make sure that the company has the authority to do business in that state. For example, if you file a certificate of incorporation in Delaware, but the company is located in Michigan, you'll need to file a certificate of authority to do business in Michigan and pay a filing fee in order to have the authority to actually engage in business in Michigan. Every single state has different rules on what it means to do business. So if you are doing business or if you've got employees in other states outside of where the business is located, you'll need to check the rules of those other states to understand if you've got additional filing requirements. Finally, there may be additional permits or licenses that are required at the state level or at the local level. So make sure you understand if there are permits or licenses required at the state and local level. On the articles or certificate of incorporation, there are a number of different categories that must be completed, and we will talk about those now. First is the name of the corporation. You'll need to make sure you check the state's website to determine that the name you want to use is actually available for use. Then you'll want to check with the U.S. and Patent Trademark Office to make sure that the name you want to use for the company is not already trademarked. If it is, it may be a problem for your company, and it's better to know ahead of time and choose a separate name. You'll also want to check on a website called Markify and do a search as well as a Google search just to see if that name is in use by another company. After the name, you'll have to say what the purpose of the company is. Usually that field is already completed, and it simply says that the purpose is for any business purpose allowed in the state. That's usually sufficient to keep that general purpose statement, but there may be times when you need to put a specific purpose statement in the articles or certificate. You'll need to provide the resident agent of the company. The resident agent is an individual or a person that's located in the state in which the company is being set up, and that person or organization has to receive service of process or formally receive any documents on behalf of the company. A lot of times, if a company is located in Michigan, for example, but is setting up a Delaware corporation, there are large corporations that are specifically designed to be resident agents to out-of-state businesses. You'll just need to pay a yearly fee to those organizations to serve as the resident agent. The registered office is the address that the resident agent is located in, and of course that address has to be in the same state in which the company is being set up. For a corporation, you have to designate the total amount of authorized stock of the company. This is all of the stock that the company is authorized, but doesn't necessarily have to be issued to particular shareholders. It's typical for companies to authorize between 10 million and 15 million shares of stock. But just be aware that the filing fees could be higher depending on the higher amounts of stock that are being authorized. Finally, you'll need to designate the incorporator of the corporation. The incorporator is solely designed to file the articles or certificate of incorporation, and you'll need to provide the incorporator's name and address.